This is Mr. Beck Does Your Homework, AP Physics, Homework 7.3, question number 7. Water flows at a speed of 4.6 meters per second through a horizontal pipe of diameter 3.1 centimeters. The gauge pressure of the water in the pipe is 1.4 atmospheres. A short segment of the pipe is constricted to a smaller diameter of 2.1 centimeters. So there's my diameter. What is the gauge pressure of the water flowing through the constricted segment? Atmospheric pressure is this, the density of water is this, the viscosity of water is negligible. Answer in units of atmospheres. Well, I'm going to convert to pascals and then go back to atmospheres later. So what I know is that in one section of the pipe, I've got my pressure 1 plus rho g h1 plus 1/2 rho v1 squared is going to equal the same combination later, is pressure 2 plus rho g h2 plus 1/2 rho v2 squared. Now what I know here is that the height is the same, so I can get rid of that. So now it's pressure 1/2 rho v1 squared equals pressure 1/2 rho v2 squared. What I do know is that I've got a diameter and a diameter. I've got the pressure 1, so I know pressure 1. I know the density. I don't have the velocity. Oh yes, I do have the velocity of 4.6 meters per second here. I don't have the velocity here. And I'm looking for the pressure here. So I've got two unknowns. So first I'm going to solve for the velocity. What I know for the velocity is, let me do that over here. I know that my first area times my first velocity is going to be my second area times my second velocity. So that's my continuity equation. The area of the first one is 3.1 centimeters. So that is going to be pi r1 squared times the velocity 1 equals pi r2 squared times my second velocity. But my radius is, this is centimeters in diameter, so I'm going to have to turn that into a radius. So let me say my radius here, this is going to be pi times 0.031 divided by 2, because they give me a diameter, squared times my velocity of 4.6 equals pi times my radius 2 is 0.021 divided by 2 squared times my velocity 2. So using this, I could go ahead and solve for my velocity 2. Now you might notice, and if you looked at one of the other videos, you might notice that pi is on both sides. Divided by 2 squared is on both sides. Even the divided by 100, they got me centimeters to meters, is on both sides. So you could shortcut this a little bit, and if you feel comfortable to, please do, and that'll give you your velocity 2. So now I know my pressure 1 is, let's see, 1.4 atmospheres. So at 1 atmosphere is 1.013 times 10 to the 5th pascals. So this pressure 1 is going to be 1.4 times my 1.013 times 10 to the 5th. So that's my pressure 1, plus 1/2 rho, my V1 is 4.6 meters per second. Oh, sorry, my rho is 1,000. So this is going to be 1,000 times my V1 is 4.6 squared. It's going to equal, my pressure 2 is what I'm looking for, plus 1/2 my density, which is 1,000 times my V2, which I solve for down here. So plug in the V2 there, plug in 1,000 for my density, and then you can take all of this and solve for P2. That will give you a P2 in pascals. It says answer in units of atmospheres. So when you get a P2 in pascals, make sure to divide it by 1.013 times 10 to the 5th to give you an answer in atmospheres.